Hey guys, how are you? So hope you enjoyed yesterday's practice, which was completely on our back. So today we're going to spice things up a bit and start off in down dog. So if you want to come into down dog position, hands shoulder distance apart, really pressing down through the knuckles, feet hip distance apart or a little closer, pressing into balls of our feet and hips nice and high, long spine. So maybe starting off just gently putting a bend in our knees, walking the dog out on the spot, or if you prefer you can begin in a static dog pose, so whichever suits you more at this time. And maybe then just putting a bend in our left knee and twisting over a little bit to the left, getting a bit of a side stretch, and then doing the same with the right. It's just a nice little twist here in our down dog, varying it slightly as we start off, and then walking the dog, coming to a still and breathing here. So gaze down, and then we'll raise our right leg, three-legged dog. So keeping our hips nice and balanced, neutral position, pointing our toe and really grounding through the 10 points in our hand. This is a nice strength building pose. And from here we're going to move into some tiger curls. So bending our knee, we bring it into our chest, and on the exhale we reach our foot back, bending in, and on the exhale reaching our foot high, and one more time bending our knee to chest, and on the exhale reach the three-legged dog, and then back to down dog. So we'll just walk the dog slightly and come down into a child's pose, bum to heels. Bring our hands back to rest by our legs, just to take pressure completely off our hands. Give ourselves a chance to rest after that, and bring our forehead to the mat. Just take a couple of deep breaths, maybe closing our eyes, and just noticing how we feel after that initial exertion. From here, walk your hands out again, shoulder distance apart, tuck your toes and come back to a down dog. So we're going to move to the left hand side. So raising our left foot up high behind us, pointing the toes, grounding through our hands, three-legged dog. Hold here in this strong position. Nice long spine, nice balanced hips, make any adjustments you need. And just breathing as we inhale, bring our knee to chest, and exhale, raise it behind. Inhale, knee to chest, exhale, raise high behind, and inhale, knee to chest, exhale, raising behind before we lower back into a three-legged dog. Again, maybe a gentle walking out of our legs on the spot, just to loosen up after that before we come to a still. From here, walk your right foot up so that your knee is directly above your ankle, and have your back foot so that your hip is above your knee. You can then bring your hands to prayer and twist to the right, so your left elbow is leaning on your right knee and your gaze is out over your hands. So this is a nice gentle twist for a side body, for our internal organs. And then we'll come back to center, and from here we're going to move into half splits. So again, back leg, we'll have our hip over our knee, front foot between our hand, flexing our toes, nice flat back, and just enjoying that stretch and that opening all along our back leg and our foot. Again, we can keep the back toes curled if we need more support, or we can untuck them. Just nice deep inhales and exhales here. And then we'll come back to tabletop, move our left foot forward and do the same on the opposite side. So now left foot, knee above ankle, bring our hands to prayer and bring our right elbow to the top of our left leg as we look out over our hands. Again, keeping that right foot curled for a bit of extra support, or bringing it flat to the ground if you're comfortable with that. And coming back to center, moving into half splits on this side. So bringing our left foot forward, making any adjustments we need so that our right hip is above our right knee. Our left foot is flexed, a lovely stretch along all the back of our left leg. Nice stretch for our hammies, a lovely one to do as well after a run. And then from here we'll move back into a tabletop position. So from here, we'll then curl our toes and come back to down dog, step our left foot forward, and we're going to open up to the side, bring our back foot parallel with the short edge of the mat, and rise up into a warrior two. So this is our one of our first standing poses. So Warrior 2 is a great pose to feel strength in the body and as well to ground us into the earth. So our front foot, you can see my ankle is directly below my knee, my back foot parallel with the short edge of the mat, my spine balanced above my hips and my hands parallel to the ground. Then from here we're going to come out of that, so bring both feet parallel to the short edge of the mat. Then bring our hands behind, interlace them, and allow ourselves to come into a wide-legged forward bend. Bring our head below our heart. Again, this is a nice cooling posture, nice and relaxing. And as we interlace those fingers, we're also getting a stretch for our shoulders and opening our chest. From here, we'll turn around onto our right foot as we set up for Warrior 2 on the opposite side. So right knee above right ankle, back foot or left foot is parallel with the short edge of the mat, spine supported, arms parallel to the ground, and we're gazing forward over our front fingers. So our drishti or our gaze is over our front fingers. And if you feel comfortable, you can widen your stance slightly. From here then we'll come back, bring both feet parallel, and this time bring our hands to our hips. We'll come again into a wide-legged forward bend, allowing head to come below heart. And just breathing deeply here, focusing on our inhales and our exhales as we started quite strong today. Bring your hands to the floor, start to heel toe your feet in together, and from here come into a nice flat back position. So coming up onto our fingertips or bringing our hands to the shins or tops of our thighs. Most important that we have a nice flat back, grounding through our feet, and our gaze is down and soft. From here, we'll put a bend in our left knee, bring our left hand to the ground. As we open up to the right hand side, raise our right hand overhead. For this, we can have our gaze up towards the ceiling and our right hand as I'm doing. This is the most advanced. If you're struggling with balance, keep your gaze on the ground or straight ahead. Then coming back down and rising up into monkey again. So as you can see, this time I'm bringing my hands to my shin. Most important, just that I'm keeping that flat back. And then we'll put a bend into our right knee, pressing down through the right hand, reaching up through the left, opening up on the opposite side. And again, I'm taking a variation this time, so my gaze is straight in front. And then coming back down. And from here, we're going to start to gradually sit our hips back as if we're sitting into a chair. And at the same time, raise our hands up. Yes, we're coming into our lovely little chair pose again, building that heat, grounding through our feet. And breathing deeply here, gaze straight ahead, tucking our navel in, and then on the exhale we come up into mountain pose. Good job, nice one. Palms facing forward, take an inhale and an exhale, and then we'll reach back into chair pose again. So we're keeping with that fire, we're building heat, and just to get the most from it, inhaling and exhaling through our nostrils. Sitting back into our seat position, arms raised, and then bowing forward into a forward fold, bringing our hands to rest on our calves and allowing our upper body to fold forward over our legs. Maybe closing our eyes, and again just checking in with how our body feels after this. From here we're just going to come down to a seated position, so if you want to slowly lower yourself onto the ground through garland pose, and come to a cross-legged position in the center of your mat as we start to cool down. Bring your hands to your knees, closing your eyes. If you prefer, you can bring your hands to heart center, allowing your breathing to begin to slow. Becoming aware of how your body feels after this strong practice today. And as you sit here, you might want to dip your chin towards your chest bowing to our hearts, and maybe going forward, listening more to our hearts than our heads today. As you go forward, may you have peace in your thoughts, in your words, in your heart, your body and soul. Namaste. Nice one, guys. See you tomorrow.